Holy crap. You're not gonna believe this. I did a take 2 because take 1, the audio didn't record. So I checked, everything was turned on. This light was green. Everything was connected. And what happens after I finished my entire rant for this video? I go to import the footage and the audio wasn't recording again. So I did a test, that one worked. So I don't know what's going on. This is gonna be take freaking 3. So I hope we can actually finish this video. I really wish this was something stronger, but it is 8:20 in the morning. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. Okay, so I am obviously back home. I am done with my 6-week trip across Europe. It was fantastic, and this is part 2 of this little series that I had every intention on doing and posting while during my trip. However, traveling is very hard. It's stressful in itself. I got sick a few days here and there, and I was just exhausted. So I shot a lot of B-roll for this video, for every intention of this video, but this part, the talking head, I never got around to it. So we're back. I got back home a few days ago, been struggling with jet lag quite a bit. I'm noticing, I think the older I get, the harder things are becoming. Fantastic. Plus, I was greeted with this humongous zit. So hopefully from here on out, it will be covered with B-roll so you don't have to stare at it. I hate it. Part 2. We're gonna be talking about the smaller tech and we're gonna jump right into Nomad cables. Now there is one that I really wanna talk about in particular, and that is the universal cable for Apple Watch, and it's the USB-C to USB-C, and it has like this puck. Now Nomad advertises that you can charge either your Apple Watch or your AirPods on this said puck. However, I have tried with my AirPods Pro with their Nomad case and I couldn't get it to charge. The only way it would work is removing the case, which is a no-go for me. So now that the AirPods, at least for now, are not my go-tos, I can opt out of bringing the Mophie 3-in-1 charging station, which is great because a cable occupies a lot less space and weight than a full-on charging station. And theoretically, I could charge every piece of tech that I brought with me with this one cable. However, I do like to simultaneously charge things at the same time. Now onto some quirks that I noticed while using this cable, and again, this may be just a me situation, so you can be the judge if this is going to be something that of an issue for you. Now, I don't sleep well. I often doom scroll at night. Don't yell at me. I know it's not good, but it is what it is at this point. So this cable does make it hard for me to do that because I either have to remove the Apple Watch from the puck, then take my phone, have it still being charged. That way I know when I wake up, it's fully charged. So plus having the puck on this side makes it kind of awkward to hold the phone. And if you do it the other way with the puck by the outlet, 90% of the outlets that, at least in the places that I encountered, were on the wall, meaning the Apple Watch is not going to stay on it. It's going to fall because gravity. My options were removing the Apple Watch, having the phone connected, or disconnect my iPhone and then using it and blah, blah, blah. So that is one of the things that I missed early on with the Mophie station because I was able to kind of independently leave the other things charging and just kind of pick up my iPhone, use what I want, and then bloop, put it back knowing that it's going to be charged. But that was my quirks with this cable. Take that with what you will. Other than that, it worked great. Now, as for the rest of the Nomad cables that I brought with me, obviously they're fantastic, 10 out of 10, no notes. We'll always be bringing Nomad cables. Now onto the UAG 5K Slim MagSafe battery pack. Now I have a love, semi-worried relationship with this product and we'll go into that. First of all, I do love it. It's thin, lightweight, and it charges my iPhone 14 Pro with enough juice for outings all day of navigating, Googling, showing tickets, buying tickets. And 3 weeks in, when I wrote the script, I have yet needed to have like an emergency charge or be like, crap, I'm out of juice, the battery pack isn't enough, and I'm SOL. I was able to use my iPhone the way that I wanted. I wasn't really limiting the usage to save the battery, so it worked fantastic. And opting out for something that slim versus a power bank, obviously, in my opinion, the way to go. And my go-to was the Satechi power bank, which I brought with me on this trip because I wasn't sure if this battery pack was going to be enough. But sure enough, I was able to leave that thing at the hotel every single day. I did not use it once. Now on to why I was a little bit worried about this quickly into the trip. Again, as I said, with my long day outings and using my phone charge and leave it in my pocket. Well, it gets extremely hot, like noticeably warm, where I'm like, I feel like I'm kind of burning my leg. So I can't charge it and then put it in a pocket. I got a little bit scared that it was going to like overheat and cause something bad. I even got a message saying charging stopped until the phone cools down. So what I quickly discovered is that it overheats kind of quickly. So I opted to not use my phone at the same time as charging. So I would kind of do workarounds of when to charge it. If I knew that we were just going to be chilling at a restaurant for a bit, that's when I would charge my phone and kind of leave it on the table and not use it. So that worked out great. Again, it was just some weird quirks having to do a workaround with the overheating. I don't know if that's just a UAG, like this particular product's thing. I don't have any other MagSafe battery packs to kind of compare. So let me know in the comments down below if you use a MagSafe battery pack of any brand and if it overheats or dispenses a lot of heat. I think that's the only thing. I would just be very cautious of that. Now onto this next thing. It's going to be very niche and probably a lot of you aren't going to find it interesting at all, so I'm going to try to keep it short. And this is the Sola Wave wand for the face and neck, and what it is, it's a 4-in-1 red light therapy. I'm not the best to promote skincare. Obviously, I'm in my 30s and I still get zits. Now, I can honestly say that I've been using this every evening after I shower and I find it therapeutic. It was a good way to kind of wind down after a busy day of exploring, of traveling, and now I'm not able to say that, wow, I look younger, my skin is firmer, it's perfect, but what I can say is that it did help and it has helped with my acne. Obviously not perfect in eliminating it, but I have noticed that it does shorten the lifespan of a zit if I'm able to catch it early enough. This one literally just popped up from one day to the next, like bam. So this has no hope. However, some other smaller ones where I can feel a pimple wanting to emerge, I use this every day over it, and I have noticed and I've seen that it just kind of goes away a lot quicker, and then it doesn't get bigger. So that in itself really encourages me to use it every single day. Now, I don't know, maybe down the line I will also feel like my skin is firm and less wrinkles. No idea. With that in itself, I'm gonna still use it. Now on to the cons. It has terrible battery life and it has no indication of when it's low, so it just stops mid-session. And the annoying thing is that I can't charge it and use it at the same time. It is time consuming. In total, the treatment is 12 minutes, 3 minutes each section. Now I will note that the serum included doesn't really last that long, and I have yet to really find another alternative. I'm gonna just have to buy like this brand's hydrating serum because I haven't been able to find any other ones, or at least in bigger bottles. But you do need several drops across your face, each section at a time, otherwise it dries off quickly, for the wand to be able to glide easily on your face. So that's something that kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to buy some serum right now, which actually I forgot that I need to buy it. I need to go do that. Anyways, another con, this thing is not cheap. It's expensive. Now there are others that are less than $100, but based on what I saw the reviews, they weren't that good. They were more of like a gimmick. Now this thing could also be a, what is it, almost $200 gimmick thing, but like I said, it has helped with certain aspects of my face, so I don't know. So because of how costly it is, the time consuming of the full-on treatment, I'm not gonna wholeheartedly say buy this, I recommend it, but if you're really into skincare, and let's say you have a full face mask, red light therapy thing at home, this one is going to be kind of awesome for travel because of how small and slim it is. It's rechargeable, and I think that's kind of the only major pro of this is because of the portability. So like imagine being able to continue with your kind of face routine, skincare routine, both at home as well as traveling. Now, so that is something that I do look forward to in the future, is buying like a full face mask one, because then I'll have my hands free, and I think it takes less time because you're covering your whole face at the same time. I don't have to sit there for 12 minutes. I think it's a lot shorter. But again, for travel, this is going to be pretty awesome, and I like it. What I've noticed that it has kind of an inconsistent with the heat. Like I feel like the first 3 minutes, well, the first 2 minutes, it doesn't dispense the the amount of heat that it does with the rest of the session, 3-minute sessions. So I feel like the first 3 minutes don't count because it's not like, I feel it doesn't reach that heat level that it should. Or sometimes I feel while throughout the treatment, it gets too hot. So I don't know if that's maybe because I'm overusing it. Like, am I not supposed to use it every single day? I don't know. That's something that I've just noticed. It's inconsistent with the heat. Now onto Nomad's wallet tracker card. I've had this thing since release. I love how thin, rechargeable it is, and you can virtually fit this into any wallet. It works seamlessly with the Find My app for iPhones, and it's very easy to set up. However, a few things that when I wrote this, I noticed that this was low on battery, which one, I really wish Nomad could do an update to be able to give us a pop-up when this is low battery, because I don't make it a habit to check the Find My app to check the battery level statuses because my AirTags tell me, hey, battery is low. So I'm like, oh, okay. But with this, I don't. You kind of have to have that in the back of your head to check. So at the time, this was kind of running low, and I kept getting pop-ups saying that my wallet was left behind. So at that time, I thought, oh, it's maybe losing connectivity or something because of low battery. Makes sense. And then I thought, crap, how do I charge this? Because I don't have the Mophie station that has the wireless charger, because all I brought was cables. But then I remembered going back to another product that I just spoke about, the Slim Pack battery from UAG. I was able to charge this thing with the battery pack. It was awesome. I love it when like tech kind of work together. So that was a fun discovery. So I fully charged it, and I still kept getting notifications, several pop-ups on my Apple Watch, on my phone, that my wallet was left behind. Even though it was like I could feel it, it's in my pocket, or I just put it in my backpack because I just bought something. And as soon as we would walk out the store, it would be like, oh, your wallet's left behind. So it was like those mini heart attacks that stopped me mid-track, double, triple check that I do indeed have my wallet. So I'm not sure if it's the tracker card thing, or if it's maybe the connectivity with the iPhone, or if it's the service that you have that don't, something. But it gave me way too many alerts that my wallet was left behind, when in fact it was not. Now onto a combo that I've already spoken to about, so I'm not gonna really dig into too much about it, and that is the Anker travel adapter with Nomad Slim charger combo. Now the only thing that I do want to point out about this combo, because I absolutely love it, this is the combo that I'm gonna be using from here on out for any sort of travel. I've noticed that some with the EU ports were very low or obstructed by something at the bottom, making the charging ports, especially on the Nomad, because they only have 2 at the bottom, kind of inaccessible. Now thankfully, Anker's travel adapter has the USBs at the bottom and then the USB-Cs at the side. So those side ports really came in clutch, and I was very, very happy to have those options. Now I also want to point out that yes, theoretically you could turn this upside down and then have the ports exposed up. But there were times even like this, you wouldn't be able to you don't have this much space in the said compartment, because I don't know why they love to obstruct the outlets with something on top or the bottom at times. So yes, theoretically you could do this and then you have ports at the top, so that is somewhat of a workaround, but also who wants it to look like this? It looks so much better like this, like it was meant to be. Like they were meant to be together. But anyways, I mean, not a big deal. Yes, you can flip the Nomad charger around if you need it to, but just something to note. Now, I will say that I'm kind of proud of myself that I don't think I missed any tech. I didn't get there and be like, oh my gosh, I completely forgot this battery or this cable to charge this thing. I was pretty on point. I could have even left one Nomad cable behind. However, in hindsight, I'm glad that I brought it with me, as I lent it to my dad for the remainder of the trip to charge his iPad, because he realized that the cable he brought was not compatible, like not strong enough to actually charge the iPad. And so even with lending out a cable that I brought, I was still able to simultaneously charge essentially all the tech that I brought at the same time when I needed it. Now, the only thing that surprised me that I will say that I wish that I brought, and again, this was more of a want and not a need, or like, crap, I forgot to pack this, is my Steam Deck. I've been really, really into bringing the Steam Deck with me everywhere, and this was one of the trips that I really wish that I brought it with me. There were times that we were out in the countryside weeks at a time, so those days when we were kind of just lounging around, I kind of wish I could have mixed up my time by like reading or watching shows and being able to game. But aside from that, I did really well with bringing what I needed. And I hope this video brought some sort of insight on some tech that you could bring on your next trip. Comment down below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And let's hope this audio works.